Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel. Today, I am here to share this very special oracle deck with you, the Goddess on Earth Oracle. This deck is centered around the 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, and spirit, but also is a goddess deck. Now, goddess decks for me are very difficult to connect with. I only have a few. I'm very selective when it comes to my goddess decks of any sort. They have to be diverse. I have to see some kind of representation from many different cultures within my goddess deck. And this one does a good job of fair representation. Not only that, but this deck also features actual women, real women who have posed for these pictures, for these, not portraits, but like living, breathing images of what a goddess entails, their embodiment of goddess energy. So I really do like this deck. I saw a couple of walkthroughs last year. Truth and Story, Kelly had a beautiful walkthrough, Don Michelle over at Boho Tarot. And then just recently, I was watching Danny Mystic's walkthrough on this. And at that point, I thought, okay, time to stop messing around. It's been on my list for a while. Let's go ahead and get the deck. And so I've had it for a couple of weeks now. So I just want to share my thoughts on this deck and go through a little walkthrough with you. So it comes in this beautiful box, well-made box, well-constructed. On the sides, as you can see, it has these colors here. So each of these colors represents one of the elements. And each of the cards is bordered with one of these colors. So you open it up, it has this beautiful quote: "We are all here to lift, hold, and be present for one another as we travel on our journeys." I think that is so important as women, for us to raise each other up. There is room for all of us, no matter what you're doing, no matter what it is you are pushing into, like there's room for all of us. And many times I have seen women kind of fight each other and hold each other down when we should be lifting each other up. And that to me is just a great reminder that we need each other. We really do. And this goddess energy is portrayed very well through this deck and gives you that sense that we are all goddesses. We are all here on this journey, and we all need to be present and holding each other up. There I go with my little tirades. I'm going to stop. So here we are in the inside of the box, very well made, very well constructed. It shows you the symbols of the elements here. Has this little string so you can easily pull the cards up. This is a 45 card deck. The finish is like a rose petal finish, but it's smooth, it's silky, it's beautiful. It's going to hold up very, very well. On the back of the cards, you have the elements, and then you have a 144-page guidebook, which we will get into in just a bit. Let's do a little flip through of the deck so you can get more familiar with the cards and the overall feeling of the deck. They are not in order, as I've already been working with this deck for a couple of weeks. I am very happy with the diversity within the deck and the difference in body styles and ages and also ethnicities. There are also 5 cards that correspond to each one of the elements that introduce animal energy as well. So I do like that it is associated with the elements and that these goddesses that are portrayed are modern women, women that you could meet up with in the supermarket, which I think is great because we all have an embodiment, a certain type of energy to us that we can help each other with. This is a sisterly love type of deck, like recognize how we can help each other and how powerful we truly are. Everyday women, you know, it doesn't have to be this person that is in a statue or something that we're putting up on the altar. Not that I'm saying anything about that. I do the same myself, but just to recognize that we embody all of that already within ourselves. One thing that you know I love to do are deck pairings. Now, I have to say that this has not been easy for me as far as deck pairings are concerned. I believe that in Boho Tarot's video, she stated she was just going to work with it by itself. I can't remember how long ago she did that video, so I don't know if she's put anything into the mix as far as how she's working with the deck. But it was very hard for me to pair up. The reason being, and as she stated within her video as well, which I can completely see now that I've been working with it for a bit, is that this deck brings in all of those elemental energies already. It is a very powerful deck. It is a very empowering deck. I have found you don't really need the element of the tarot because you already have all of those elements here. There is actually only, from my collection, there's only one tarot deck that I would use with this particular oracle, and that is the Lioness Oracle Tarot. The Lioness Oracle Tarot has that beautiful feminine energy, that empowerment type of idea. This is the only deck that I could see working with it with. I have tried a couple of others, and so far, this is it for me. I can work with these two as far as tarot and oracle. Maybe the idea of this, how it is just not your traditional scenes within the tarot and getting the intuitive hits off of the art. Maybe that's it for me. I'm not quite sure, but this is the only one so far that can hold its place with the Goddess on Earth Oracle. That's it so far for me as far as tarot. Now, I have enjoyed working with this deck with other oracle decks. And again, I have found that I have to be very selective about which decks I'm bringing in to work with this deck because of the empowerment and the overall elemental energies that are within this deck. So I am going to share with you the oracle decks that I'm working with. Spirit Cards Oracle deck. This is a gorgeous deck, and I believe that due to the shamanic energy that kind of shows up within this deck, these are the backs. I am pulling one of these and then two of my Goddess on Earth oracles. And like I said, because of the elemental energy within the Goddess on Earth, I get a full reading with these two oracle decks. And they really do work well together. They speak well together. It gives that full energy, the idea of earth and all the beautiful beings within it. It's working well together. I do like these two together. So let me share one other deck, or no, is it one? No, two other decks. So the next deck that I really do like the energy of working alongside the Goddess on Earth Oracle is the Living Altar. Now the Living Altar deck is, it is a fiery deck, and it's all about working with the elements, and it has so much fire within it that I've been using this again as my central focus card, and then I pulled 2 of the Goddess on Earth Oracle cards, and they've been working very well together. Just to show you a few about, see what they look like side by side. I think I'm doing this all wrong, but let me go ahead and take those off. And this one, like I said, it has so much fire that it can stand up with this deck because it is a very powerful deck. And the Living Altar does speak a lot into that ancestral medicine and workings. So for that reason, I think it's working together. There is only one other deck within my collection that, again, to me makes any sense with the Goddess on Earth Oracle. And that is the Tree Whisper Oracle by Maggie Makwai. She's known as Mags Black here on YouTube, and this is the first edition. I know she's all sold out of the first edition, but in looking at her website the other day, I did notice that she does have a second edition. I don't know what the status is, how many she has, how many are left, but this is a beautiful oracle deck. It does not have a guidebook. It's the images and a keyword. So this is actually, I save this for last because these 2 together are my absolute favorite pairing so far. The earth energy that just radiates from the Tree Whisper Oracle along with this deck, oh my goodness, it is just beautiful the way that they read together. So again, this is my main focal point or my energy point, and then I use this, the Goddess on Earth, as the bringing in of the other messages. And I'm telling you, these 2 are so good together. I really, really like these 2 together. Now, another thing about the Goddess on Earth Oracle is that you don't have to just go into the guidebook to get your messages, because on each card there are keywords on the card. If you want a quick reading, like say this combination right here, we have a keyword on this oracle, and then we have keywords on the Goddess on Earth Oracle. That's all you can work with right there. You can stop it right there. You don't have to take it any further. You can just use the keywords and work from there. So this so far is my absolute favorite pairing with this deck. Okay, let's get into, and that's such a gorgeous card. Look at that. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Let's get into the guidebook a little bit. So as I stated earlier, it is 144 pages. I went ahead and marked the elements, the elemental pages of the deck. I did run out of some different colored tabs, so I have some here in the front, or up on the top rather. Now you open up the guidebook and you have the contents. It has a little intro into the deck. It does have 3 spreads, which I've only worked with the 3 card spread, the past, present, future. And then each element is broken down. There's a little bit about the element to begin with, and then it gets into the cards. So for each card, you have a full-size picture of the card, which is in black and white. You have the attributes, the perspective, and the action. The attributes and the action are really well worded, very well done. You're not searching for the message within the card because it's pretty clear within the attributes and the action. But what I really find so well done within this deck is that she took into consideration each woman that modeled for these cards. This is her perspective on this particular goddess energy. Up at the top, it tells you the goddess of fertility, and that's from the Norse, and then it gives you the name of the goddess, and of course you have your keyword here. So it's very simple to navigate through. The numbers of the cards are represented here within the guidebook, and you just go through, say you pull number 29, then you go to number 29 here. You just find it right there. You don't even have to worry about looking at keywords on the back of the book or anything like that to find what page it's on, because it's very clear. So I really do like the guidebook, how well done, how well made the guidebook is, how easily it reads. And now also here in the back, there is a little bio on the artist. And then she gives credit to the women who went ahead and modeled for these goddesses and gave a little rundown on each particular woman, who they are, what they do. I really like that because then I get to know a little bit more about the particular person who modeled for this card. And in the back also, there is a goddess index. So say you pull up number 4, it says resilience. Then you can just come here and see which goddess you're working with, because it doesn't say the name of the goddess on the card. But I like that because then you can choose how you want to work with this deck. Do you want to work with the goddess energy? Do you just want to work with the keyword? You can choose. You're free to choose at that point. I really, really like this deck. I'm not joking. This is a keeper. This one's not going anywhere. I really enjoy this deck. I will try to give you a little shuffle here just so that you can see. It is a rose petal finish. And it is, like I said, it's just silky and smooth, and it's your regular oracle card size. If you have problems with the rose petal finish, I don't know how you will feel about this deck, but look at that. I mean, it does a good job as far as shuffling is concerned. I don't riffle shuffle, so I'm just showing you this portion right here, just so that you can see it come into like a fanning type motion. But overhand, it shuffles very, very well. So that's it, guys. That is the Goddess on Earth Oracle deck. I'm really liking this deck. I really like the energy. I love that it is a modern woman portrayal of this goddess energy. And the guidebook is so well done. It's simple, it's easy, it's not complicated. You have 2 very nice messages, and then the perspective from the woman who put themselves into this goddess energy, who's reflective of this. I like it. I really do like it. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions about the deck, or if you have any suggestions about any other tarot decks that you feel could stand up to the energy of this deck, please let me know. In one of my last videos, somebody gave me a suggestion and I appreciated it so much because it worked out so well. So once again, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you later.